Welcome to the Dropship Podcast, where you'll learn how to build and grow a high-ticket dropshipping business and hear stories from successful e-commerce entrepreneurs. Let's kick this thing off.
Hey, welcome back to the Dropship Podcast. John with you today on a solo episode. In today's episode, I'm going to be doing a website teardown. Now, we've done a few of these in the past, and we've got a few more coming up as well. In today's episode, I'm doing a teardown on a website called the Pottery People. And thank you to Billy for volunteering your website. You're a much braver man than me. So, in these episodes, what I do is I run through on the screen a live high-ticket dropshipping website and give my thoughts on the homepage, the collection page, the product pages, my thoughts on the niche, my thoughts on how the offer's presented. And so this is a great one to watch on video. So if you're on Spotify, or if you go over to our YouTube channel, the Dropship Breakthru YouTube channel, just go to YouTube and search Dropship Breakthru and you'll find it. You can watch me actually doing this. This is a screen recorded episode. If you can't though, you can head over to the potterypeople.co.uk. The link will also be below the episode on wherever you're listening or watching in. You can go along and check it out as I'm talking about it if you can't watch the video episode. So as always, these episodes are a great way for you to get insight into things you should, things you shouldn't do on high-ticket dropshipping websites, what makes a great design, what's a great way to present your offer. I share lots of thoughts about niches and what I think of the niche that's driving this website. And this episode is no different. I had a lot of fun doing it. There's more coming up. So without further ado, let's dive into the website teardown. The site we're on today, and thank you, I should say, in the beginning to Billy, who's volunteered his site for this website teardown. You can see it on the screen now. The site is the Pottery People, which is at the potterypeople.co.uk. And so obviously a business based in the United Kingdom. The location doesn't really matter. My comments and what we're looking at here would be exactly the same if the site were in the US, in Canada, in Australia, Western Europe, and of course the UK, which are all the primary countries where we're doing high-ticket dropshipping. So on these website teardowns, basically what I'm going to do, we're going to whip through this website on the screen here, and I'm going to share my thoughts on it as we go. Now, obviously, we work with a lot of people and have run a lot of high-ticket dropshipping businesses ourselves here at Dropship Breakthru. And so, these my comments are based on things that we've seen over time, over the quite a few years now, that nearly a decade I've been doing it. We know to work well, work not so well, both to give Billy a bit of guidance here on his site, but also, just if you're watching along and you're either planning to jump into high-ticket dropshipping, or you've already got a site up and running, you might be able to pull some insight that will relate to your own circumstances from us looking at this here. So I'm going to comment about the site itself. I'm also going to talk a bit about the offer. So, which is a central part of your marketing, and the offer is what you're offering to your customers in a whole. It's not just the product, it's not just the price, it's a whole range of things that come together to form the idea of your offer. So I'm going to comment a bit about that. I'm going to talk a little bit about the niche itself, of course, because that's kind of also what we're looking at on the screen here. So let's go. We've got it on the screen. You can follow along at home, the potterypeople.co.uk. And we're, of course, going to start off on the home page. So right on, we can see straight away from the name of the business, we know what this business is selling, and that's a good thing. It is, of course, a business, and the niche for this business is pottery and people who are passionate about pottery. And so as far as high-ticket dropshipping goes, I think that's a great place to be. Certainly any time that you can build a business around a specific market, a specific interest that people have, that's the approach that we want to take. So Billy here is going after people who are passionate about pottery. And so what he's going to be trying to do here is sell a range of products that somebody who is into pottery would or could quite possibly buy to carry out thing, that hobby, that passion that they're interested in. And that's exactly one of the best approaches to take for high ticket dropshipping. So I think that's spot on. It's definitely an idea I've had on my own personal niche list over the years. I've never done it myself, but so good on you, Billy. You're definitely on the right track with that one. Now, the site itself, moving along here, we're on the homepage. I think there's immediately a number of things that that jump out to me that I would definitely be that I like, and some things that I would change. So the first thing to say, I think the first thing I would be working to change is the theme of the store. So this is a Shopify site. This is built on the Shopify platform. A little handy tip for you if you're on Chrome and you're ever wondering, there are some extensions you can get for Chrome. I use one called Wapalizer, which you can see right here on the screen. It's just a little extension you can add to Chrome. It will tell you the platform that the website is built on and some of the other technologies that are you can see that are used within the site. So we can see this one's on Shopify. Now, of course, we know that most high-ticket dropshippers will be on Shopify, but sometimes that can be handy if you're looking at a website and you want to try and dig in and work out how they're doing things. If you know what the platform is that they're working off, you can sort of sometimes get a bit further down that track. So we're on Shopify. I'm not a big fan of this theme. I think it might be one of the free themes from Shopify, Billy. You can obviously correct me if I'm wrong whenever you see this, but I think it's one of the themes from Shopify. And I don't think it's, as far as high ticket dropshipping is concerned, anyway, I don't think it's a fantastic setup to be working with whatever theme this is. At Dropship Breakthru, we recommend using themes from out of the sandbox, in particular the Superstore or the Empire themes, because they tend to be better set up for things like just as a base approach for high ticket dropshipping. And also for things like SEO and page speed, they tend to be quite good. So one of the first things I think that's missing here that we want to see on any homepage or header for a high-ticket dropshipping business is a search bar. So we want for people to be able to search to the product that they're looking for as easily as possible. In a search bar, you've got to have that. Most people miss this. So obviously, if I click on this little magnifying glass, I'm going to pull up this overlay. And I am going to comment on the color red in a moment because there's a lot of it here. And you get the search bar. What you just want to have is the search bar in the header. People miss this. Little tiny things people always miss. So have the search bar in the header. When you're high ticket dropshipping, you're going to be selling a whole bunch of different products. You're not just going to be focused on one product or two products, in which case having a search bar would be less important because, those things are going to be really easy to find on your site because that's going to be all you're selling. But when you're high ticket dropshipping over time, you could be selling, 50, 100, 150, possibly many more products. And so getting people to the right product for them as quickly as possible in as few steps as possible is a very important part of your website strategy. And so a search bar, a very visible and obvious search bar that people know what to do with a search bar, primarily because where do you see the big search bar? On Amazon. It's now a user behavior and a website feature that people expect. So having a nice big search bar there is very important. And so you want to look, a lot of themes will have that pre-built into the theme. So once again, a reason we like Superstore, it comes out of the box with a nice big search bar in the header that's ready to use. You don't have to sort of code that in or do any sort of little add-on apps or anything like that. So definitely I'd be looking at switching this up so that you can get access to that. We've got the phone number for the business and the contact information is up here in the top bar. Once again, I'd probably like to see that featured a bit more in the header and a bit bigger. Once again, for high-ticket dropshipping, a high-ticket dropshipping business is a marketing and a customer service business. So note, those are the things that your business is built around. That is actually what you're doing. You can think of yourself as a retailer or you can think that you're in the product space or whatever, but really, if you want to get really good at high-ticket dropshipping, you are in the marketing business and the customer service business. Those are the two aspects of your business that you have 100% control over how you do them and what you do. And so you have to really lean into those things. And so getting people on the phone, particularly with a new business, is exceptionally important. One, you will just close more sales if you can talk to people. Two, you learn about your business significantly faster and your market if you can actually talk to people. And so I think a lot of people in the beginning, or when they think about getting into e-commerce and dropshipping, they think, oh yeah, wouldn't it be really great if I never have to do anything with customers? I can just make sales online and sales will just roll in and I won't, have any much interaction with people. That's not really how it works. It never has been. And never will be, right? Like the more you can encourage people to get in touch with you and talk to you, the better. And so the best way to do that, once again, phone is better than email. Now, I note that when you're first starting out, a lot of people starting out, have a day job and they might not be able to answer the phone that regularly during business hours. And so in the beginning, if that's where you're starting, that's okay. Still send people to a phone number and take messages and call them back. That is still better than not answering, like not focusing on the phone at all, I think. So, and then of course, over time, you're going to move to a point where you can bring a VA on who can be the first point of customer service and be answering the calls for you.
Hey, remember Holly? Yeah, episode 212. From $0 to $500,000 in 5 months. Holly is one of our best students, and you can hop on a call with her right now at dropshipbreakthru.com/call. If you're listening to this, I know you're thinking about starting your own high-ticket dropshipping business, and what better person to speak to than Holly, who is a shining example of what can be done starting your own business. So hop on a call with Holly, see if joining Dropship Breakthru is right for you. dropshipbreakthru.com/call.
Now, the header itself and sort of the rest of the design. So firstly, the logo here is way too big. You want to focus on getting primarily, and this is, we're looking at the desktop version here of the site, right? I've gone through this site on mobile, and so a lot of the comments I'm going to make will also be, and I have it open right next to me, will also be partially because of what I've seen on the mobile. So this is basically nearly a square logo. You want to avoid square logos because they make your header super big. So this is probably taking up nearly a quarter of the screen, and I'm on a big screen. I'm not on a small screen here. So this is taking up probably nearly a quarter of the screen with this space, and that's going to be too much. Once again, on mobile, it pushes it down. So you want to go for something that is rectangular in shape. Even just knocking off this top little thing here would be fantastic. And that's going to make your site a bit slimmer as well. When you scroll this site, you go down, you go back up, the header pops in and starts obscuring the page. And it's just these little things get annoying to users. And anytime that people feel a website might be a bit annoying to use, they're going to leave. They're going to jump off. People are not fussed about doing that. They're not so invested into what you're doing in the first 20 seconds that they're there that they're going to stay just because they love you so badly already. That's really not what happens. So you want to get this nice and narrow. So, I mean, even, it doesn't have to be fancily designed. These days, usually when I'm doing, I just go for a text-based logo. I don't worry about fancy designs or anything like that. If you think about, let's say that one day you, and think about your branding in the longer term as well. Like one day, if you go to producing your own product, you're not going to slap this on it, right? You're not going to put this sign on it. You're just going to put the name of the Pottery people. You put a text-based logo on a product. You don't put this whole big thing. That would look a bit funny. So I'd drop that out. I'd probably just make it like a rectangular, the Pottery people. It's going to make your header nice and slimline. It's going to make it even better on mobile where you have very little space. And then while we're on that topic of space, and I'll hold up my thing here. I don't know if you can see this on my little camera. If you go to mobile on this site, this thing down here, the online chat, which is great, and you need to have it, and having the little box that pops up here is also good on desktop because it doesn't take up much space down here, and it does make it more visible. And you do want people to use that feature if they need some help. That's cool. But this thing displays at about this size on mobile as well. And so immediately when I open this site, on an iPhone, up to half of the screen is obscured by the online chat. Now, if I was coming back on my second or third visit and I had questions, that might be okay. But if I'm visiting for the first time, I don't need your help yet because I haven't even looked at your site. I haven't seen anything, and I'm already half of the screen is obscured with the chat. So this sort of thing, you want to load this on mobile like that without the welcome message. Like, yes, the welcome message is nice, and yes, it may draw a bit more interaction, but it's not worth putting off all of the people that don't want to use that feature because they've got to click something to get rid of it so they can actually see the site. So a lot of chat widgets, for anybody who's watching along, will do that by default. As soon as you load in a welcome message, they'll automatically make it pop up on the screen. You might not even realize it's happening. You don't want that. People will still see this chat thing that says help, which is fine. Down here on the screen, it's actually probably a little bit more noticeable on mobile because the screen is smaller. So do that. Now, another little design thing that I'm going to talk about here is the color red. And this may be a personal thing, so you can take this with a grain of salt if you like. I don't like red. Red is an angry color, and on this site, there is too much red for me. Particularly, your text should never be anything other than black, except for links, right? Like links in your text, like hyperlinks, I mean, in a block of content, not links like menu links or anything like that. Should always be black. And I note on other parts of this site, we have a lot of text that is in red. Should never be the case. It's harder to read. And it's just too overpowering. There's just a little bit too much red for me. It's because it's such a bright color. And yeah, I know some people will say, well, I want my website to stand out and look different from other websites and all of that sort of thing. And that is important, but this is not the way to do it. Bright colors do not inspire trust with website visitors. It's just a bit too garish. And so, like, if I click on this, like this big red thing, like it's like the red mist, I feel like I might need to go and, like, I don't know, go all berserker with an axe on something. Like, it's just like a bit crazy, right? So I would personally avoid the color red at all costs if it were me. It's just, if you think of the range of emotions that colors apparently trigger, red is not the one that you want on a website when you're trying to persuade somebody to buy something from you. Now, you can probably say, well, that doesn't really matter that much, and maybe it doesn't, but it's just any sort of bright block color like that, I would pretty much avoid unless you have a site that is supposed to appeal to children or something like that, when maybe you can be a bit more fun and bright and that sort of thing. But there's very limited circumstances, and I don't think Pottery is the one for that. So I would seriously, all text should be black, aside from hyperlinks, on any site, that's not a red color thing. That's just on any site, right? General rule right there, always black text on white background as much as possible. It's instantly the most readable thing you can put in front of somebody. Not to mention, and I don't know if it's red is one of the colors that does it. Some people are like colorblind, right? So they don't see certain colors in the same way as everybody else. And you shouldn't do anything that makes your site less accessible. Not to mention that search engines and things like that do consider accessibility as well when they're considering your site. So less block colors, black text. And then once again, this text here is too small. You need bigger text, especially for your main menu. Now, part of the reason this text is probably too small is because we're trying to fit quite a bit in here, which is exacerbated by the giant logo and the fact that the header is not full width. So if you want to get more space for your menu, full width header, which once again, maybe it's not possible with this theme, it's possible with other themes, less obtrusive logo, and you'll be able to fit in bigger text. But once again, like some things, you don't need a home link in your main menu. Like website behavior these days, people know if they click your logo, they're going to load the home page. You don't need the home link, particularly I'm on the home page right now. Why do I need a home link? You don't need the About Us link up here. You don't need the Contact Us one right here. You don't need the Policies one right. Like those things can all go into one menu item, right? One drop-down menu item. The primary thing we want to be people to be able to do here is to get to products, right? To get to products. That's what people who are visiting your site the first time around and that sort of thing, they just need to see what they're there to see. Nobody's coming to your site to look at your About Us page. They may want to look at that later to provide a bit of logical connection, but behind why they want to complete a sale with you, but they need to see what they need to see first. And so just focus people's attention always down to where they need to go the most when they're there the first time, because a majority of your visitors are going to be first-time visitors. They're not going to be repeat visitors. So bigger text, easy to read. Once again, I'd struggle to see this text has been above 16. We want that to be bigger. So getting along down the page, I like, when you're doing a niche site, the first thing that people see when they get to the homepage, and once again, most people are not visiting the homepage. So we're going to get on and talk about the product page very shortly. Within one of these businesses in the beginning, most people are going to land on your product pages. You're going to be running things like Google Shopping ads. So the landing page is going to be your product page. That's where the first impression is going to get made. Very few people in the beginning are coming to your homepage. You should never advertise your homepage in the beginning, but over time you get more and more traffic there, and you get like people coming in there, and so you do get some people that navigate there. So what you want to see on your homepage is a nice quality image that immediately speaks to people that they're in the right place, right? So if I'm somebody who's passionate about pottery, subconsciously, I'm going to feel great if I land on a homepage that speaks immediately to my passion and my interest. I'm going to be like, yes, this is where I belong, right? And so having an image here, having a little tagline here to help you bring your ideas to life, yep, that's all great. I would take the logo off it. Once again, the logo doesn't need to be there. It's right here. I can't miss that. And so you don't need that there. Getting down, then we have a bit of a representation attached to that of, the free delivery, full warranty. So this is a bit of the offer stuff that I mentioned. I'll come back and talk about the offer in full, but starting to present this is the why people should buy from you bit, right? So I've talked about this a lot before, but when you're high ticket dropshipping, you're a reseller of other brands' products, kind of like a traditional offline retailer, which is fine. But what that means is that other people are selling the same products that you're selling. And so what that means is that when a customer is on your site, what's going on in their mind is not just, is this the right product for me to buy? It's also, is this the right place for me to buy this product from? Is this the right business to buy this product from? Because they have other choices on the market, and online it's often very easy to find those other choices. So part of what you're trying to convince your customers about at any touch point that they have with your business, and so a touch point could be on your product page, a touch point could be on your homepage, a touch point could be on your collection pages, is this the right place for me? And so you need to really let people know why your business is the best place for them to buy. And that's going to come through in your customer service as well, because that's another touch point. But your offer is part of that. That's the point of the offer when it comes to high ticket dropshipping, is primarily it's driving the answer to that question, which is, why is this a better place for me to buy one of these pottery products than any of the other places I could buy pottery products from? And if possible, that should be unique, or at least be perceived to be unique. So Billy's kind of starting to communicate this on the homepage, which is a good thing to do. I'll come back to like the specifics of this in a moment. Now, as we go down, we have a little selector for different types of things. And because I already did it, I'll see what happens if I click that. All right, I've refreshed that. Billy's introduced a quiz into his homepage. Now, if anybody's listened to me for any amount of time, or on our podcast, the Dropship Podcast, you'll know that I love quizzes on high-ticket dropshipping businesses. Why do I love quizzes on high-ticket dropshipping businesses? Because generally, in any given product category, you sell a range of different products. Some high-ticket dropshipping businesses sell a lot of products, like 500, 600, 1,000. And so that can actually get a bit confusing for customers, right? How do I know which is the right product for me? How do I get to the right product for me as quickly as possible? And so the quiz is one of the ways that you can do that. So Billy's brought in here, once again, way too much red here. I don't honestly even like looking at it because it's hurting my eyes. So I'm looking away from the screen right now. But this is good. I mean, I like the quiz. I'd probably put a little bit more like text in here to kind of describe what's actually going on here. I mean, it says start quiz, so now I'm going to assume it's a quiz, but like, don't know what kiln is best for your needs. Answer five quick questions in the next 2 minutes, and we're going to recommend the top product to meet your needs. Like, I would just put in a bit more there. Anytime you want somebody to take an action online, be very specific about what the outcome is going to be, how long it's going to take. And you may say, well, this is such a tiny thing, it's just a quiz. It doesn't matter. You still got to do it. Be very specific about what's involved. Be very specific about what they can expect. And you'll get a better interaction with whatever the thing is that you're getting people to do. So I like this, and I'm actually going to do it right now just to show you a bit of what this looks like. I would actually put this some other places on the site, and maybe we'll discover that as we go further through the site. I note it's also linked up here in the main menu, which is not a bad idea. I would probably also possibly link it into my ceramic kilns one up here. But anyway, so if I click Start Quiz, we can see this. So this is using, I believe, Typeform, which is, there's a number of tools out there that you can do this, which integrate quite easily with a website. And then it just asks you some questions. Are you calling for a home studio or a commercial studio? I answer home. It goes on. What best describes your size needs? Well, I make mugs. Fantastic. What type of clay do you use? Oh, I do earthenware. For some reason, earthenware doesn't automatically load the next answer, so I'll just do that. Is the ability to plug into a socket a priority without needing an electrician a priority for you? That question is a little bit confusing. You need to reword that. I'd make it simpler. But let's say I do preferred but not essential. I also wouldn't necessarily ask this question either. With these quizzes, you just want people to answer 4 or 5 yes or no questions, or like multiple choice. So your previous questions were all good. For the purposes of what you're actually hoping to achieve here from a marketing perspective, this isn't really necessary. So I'm just going to write test here, and apologies for the test response here. I click next, and then it says your email. Now, Billy, the one thing I would add in here that you haven't got is you need to put in an explanation of why you're asking for somebody's email. You can't just have your email on a blank screen. I'm going to put my email in, one of my emails in, and everybody can see one of my emails. It's fine. It's one of my junk emails, so spam me away all you like. And the point is, and this is one of the cool things about the quiz, right? At the end of it, to give, and this is what it should say, we're going to send you our top recommendation of the one product that you should buy based on your answers for your specific needs, which is what the help the person's looking for, right? But it gives you a chance to capture an email address, which you can then connect up with your email autoresponder, and you know what the response to the quiz is. So it's possible to then put that person into an automated email sequence to continue marketing to them about their interests that you now know about them. You know what sort of product you recommend for them, and you can keep following them up via email. And this is one of the ways that you can grow your email list. So if I click next, then this quiz is actually going to load on the screen. We think these kilns would be great for you. If you have any questions or would like my help, please give us a message. And it's given me 2 products here, which are the best ones off this site for the things that I selected that I can instantly add to my cart, or I can just click on these and go straight to the product page. So this is the cool thing about these sort of quizzes, is you can get somebody from where they are really quickly to a specific product without making them navigate all through all your different products to try and work out which is the right one for them. I can now go into this. If you've got this quiz right, then it's highly likely if I go and look at one of these products, I'm going to look at the page and we go, oh yeah, cool. Yeah, that's definitely what I need. I'm going to go ahead and buy it. And you've done me a service. You've helped me out here. If I'm somebody who's sort of in the top to the middle of the funnel, of the sales funnel, I don't really know specifically what product I want. I know I want a kiln for home, but like there's options out there. Like which one's the right option? You've just done me a service by as my trusted advisor, and that's what you are for a customer. You're their trusted advisor. That's why they're on your site, right? You've done me a service. Now, the one thing I would say, Billy, and there may be a specific reason why there's two products here, so excuse my ignorance about the world of pottery, which I don't know a lot about. But I would say that it's better to provide one recommendation. Whenever you want somebody to take an action, make it as simple as possible. Don't make people choose between two things. Anytime you introduce choice into the overall buying process, it has the potential to lead to confusion, which then means less sales. So always provide, at the end of these, it's best to provide one product solution. Say, this is the product for you. There is no other product for you based on your needs on this site. Go and buy this one. Rather than having to consider, like, now I'm thinking, well, what's the difference between these two? This page doesn't really explain to me. So I would have to go and click on this one. I may not be able to navigate directly back to this result if I hit the back. I think it does retain it, but it may not. And then I have to click into this one, and then I have to work out, well, what was the difference between the two? You don't want people doing that. You just want to tell people, this is the product for you. Let them go and buy it. So, but otherwise, the quiz is a cool thing. So I'm glad to see that Billy's gone ahead and put that together. If you have a site with lots of products on it and lots of similar products particularly, this is definitely a functionality that you should look at utilizing in your business. And there are different ways that you can use them, but it's very useful. And then moving down the page further, more bright red. Once again, it's just saying stop. Stop, John, stop. Red light, stop. We'll go down towards the bottom. Once again, the footer, more red text that shouldn't be there. So two things I just want to touch on here. We are extremely quick at replying to emails. Don't encourage people to have email contact with you. Is my advice over phone. If you want to focus on fast and quick customer service for high ticket products, it needs to be phone based. And I'm willing to bet as well that your market for pottery is slightly on the older side of things. Not like really older people, but it's going to be, I would say, slightly on the older rather than the younger side of things, right? Middle-aged to late middle-aged rather than 18 or 19-year-olds or 20-year-olds or something like that, right? That market is going to prefer phone to email. And once again, you will not make more sales via email. You will make more sales via phone. So email is yes, it's better than having no customer service. I get that. And yes, like as I mentioned, I understand maybe you've got a job and you can't answer the phone, but I would still be pushing people to a voicemail and getting their phone number and calling them back when you can. You can call people back outside of business hours as well, particularly after business hours up until about 8 o'clock at night is generally considered fine. It's not a marketing call. They've given you permission to call them in that case. Yeah, I mean, email is problematic because people miss emails, people don't open emails, emails go to spam, and you don't have any way to really foster a true backwards and forwards conversation, which you want as somebody who sells stuff, right? You want to be able to ask people questions. You want to be able to really get a feel for where they're at, which you're not going to get so much via email. So yes, focusing on customer service, I think, is a good idea. So I think you're on the right track with this, but I would be 100% big letters. Here's our phone number. Give us a call. We're going to help you. That's what I would be pushing people towards rather than email. And then finally, I just wanted to make a little comment here while we're here on email opt-ins. So anytime you're asking people to sign up to an email list, about less than 20% of website visitors look at your footer anyway. So I don't want to over talk too much about this email opt-in specifically. This will get next to no opt-ins ever. In the footer, I don't even bother with them these days. I think I did in the beginning, but I don't anymore because they just never get many opt-ins. And you can probably put something else there in the space down the bottom, but or have nothing even. Anytime you want to get somebody to opt into an email list, this is not a good way to do it. It's generic. It doesn't confer a specific benefit. So people associate value with their email address. People these days, as opposed to 15 years ago, do not just sign up for things without thinking about it. People, to get a good opt-in rate, you have to give people a specific outcome that they can associate some value or benefit to them for, in return for them giving you their email address. People's email inboxes get too much stuff in it as it is. And so for people to give you their email address, keep up with the latest offers is not specific. What latest offers? What are the offers? What am I going to get out of doing that? I don't know that here. I can't infer any benefit here whatsoever. So I would just not opt into it. I'm not going to opt into it to find out what the latest offers are. I'm just not going to do it. So always think about that. That's why generic sort of email opt-ins don't work. To grow your quiz is a way better way to grow an email list. For example, because why? Because if I go back to the start and I retake this quiz, a little bit more text here would be good, as I said, that's more specific. But this is telling me exactly what I'm going to get. I don't know at this point that I'm going to email opt-in for it, which is why you need to reiterate it at the end when you ask for the email address. But this is still a very specific outcome to this action. I'm going to find out exactly what kiln is right for me. That's a great thing, right? That's very specific. You can tell them how long it's going to take them. So the time frame in which they're going to get delivered that benefit is extremely specific. And so once again, anytime you can do that, you're going to get a way higher opt-in rate, which is why opt-ins usually that are tied, say, to a particular piece of content do much better than just general pop-ups or general ones that are fixed in like a footer or a homepage or something like that. So we're going to stop there on the homepage. Spend a lot of time there. We're going to jump across now to a collection page. And I'm going to just pick one at random here. We're going to come into the home kilns collection page here. So once again, red text. No, black text, please. Always black text. None of this red text stuff. It's not making me happy. And all right. So on the content page, Billy's popped in a bunch of content, a collection page. Billy's put in a bunch of content. And this is a good direction to go in for sure. And I like this, and it's something that Ben and I have spoken about a lot, despite the fact that we've done this on sites that have generated 8 figures in revenue, and people love to argue with us about doing this. And usually that's people who haven't even made 6 figures in revenue. For some reason, people feel a lot of resistance to putting content on these pages, despite having no evidence that it's the wrong thing to do. And we've got all the evidence that it's the right thing to do. For a high-ticket dropshipping business, of course. So, but some of this content misses the mark for me. So why do you want to put content on a collection page? Well, firstly, for SEO purposes. Your collection pages are naturally going to be the right pages for you to rank. And I'm not going to go deep on SEO here because that's a whole other talk, a whole other question, and we've covered that in a lot of detail, say on the Dropship Podcast and that sort of thing. So if you want to learn more about that, there's other places to learn about that, not this session. But you want to, your collection pages, if I go to Google, and I'm not going to do it because I'm not in the UK, so we're not going to see the actual search results that this site's going to rank for. But if you go to Google and type in home kilns, right, the pages that Google will already be ranking are collection pages from sites that sell home kilns primarily, right? Or ceramic kilns, or other things, pottery wheels or whatever, right? So that means the page from your website that you're going to try and rank for home kilns is going to be your collection page, because that's what Google wants. You're not going to bend Google to your will and say, I'm going to rank a content page, like a blog post, for this particular search term. Now, maybe another variation on this search term you will, but not this, right? That is not going to be what you're ranking for. And so it's going to be your collection page. So collection page by default, we know that to rank pages in Google, one of the easy ways to do that is to have content on the page, right? It gives Google some context and understanding about what the page is about. But on a collection page, it also helps your customers, right? Most people who come to a collection page are going to be in the middle of the funnel, right? Or even the top of the funnel, which means they know that they need a type of product. So I'm interested in home kilns. I don't know what product I want. If I knew what product I wanted, I would have got to the product page. If I knew specifically, I want this brand's home kiln, I would have ended up on your product page, not on your collection page usually, right? So I want a home kiln. I'm undecided. And so you've got an opportunity to assist me with learning about which is the right home kiln for me based on my needs. And we just talked about that with the quiz. So one of the things you can put on your collection pages is your quiz, right? I would definitely have that quiz, maybe not in exactly the same way it's presented on the homepage, but I would definitely have it baked in here, because that is one of the things that a lot of people will be interested in utilizing at this point in the customer journey. The other thing that you can do is use content to provide them some recommendations, some guidance as to which is going to be the right home kiln for me. Because we think about it, this collection isn't necessarily, if we go down to the products, there is only 6 products in here at this point. Now, this is a fairly new site for Billy, so presumably over time, he may have more of these, right? So let's imagine there were 20 of these kilns on this page, which is a fairly normal number for a collection for a high-ticket dropshipping business. Oftentimes, it can be many more, like hundreds of products. If I'm looking at these, how do I know which one's the right one for me? How do I even know what's the difference between these? Well, the only way I can find that out is to go and click on this one, then to hit back, then to go and click on this one and read about it and hit back, then to go and click on this one and read about it and hit back. And then by the time I get to this product, do I even remember what I saw on the first one? No, I don't, right? And I'm starting to get confused. I'm getting bored. And remember, the confused mind buys nothing. So you want to simplify the process. Yes, we need to have our lovely little traditional tiled view of products on a collection page, which everybody seems to be so in love with for no particular reason. But once again, we do want to, if we were just selling our own product and we just had one home kiln to sell, we wouldn't have to worry about any of this. If we were a direct-to-customer brand and I was manufacturing this product and it was just the product that I do, I wouldn't need to worry about what I'm talking about now. But you're not that type of e-commerce business, so you do have to worry about it when you're high-ticket dropshipping. So I can use this content space to provide a bit more guidance. Now, Billy's got some of that here, but what I don't like here is where this page starts. So this page should be, do you wish you could fire ceramics in a kiln at home? It's kind of got a bit of a landing page feel. How many of these have you experienced? All of this sort of stuff doesn't actually provide, like if I'm looking at this page, I already know that I want a home kiln, right? You don't need to convince me that I need a home kiln. That is not the purpose of a collection page. Now, you may want to talk about this stuff in content. You may want to build another landing page about home kilns for some marketing purpose, but your collection page is not the page. Not to mention, this sort of formatting looks real bad on desktop. So I would be chopping out all of that. Fortunately, there's a solution. Middle of the funnel is already solution aware. So if you think of the marketing funnel, which is top, middle, and bottom, you have an inversion of that, which is the customer awareness pyramid, which goes up, right? And that goes through things like unaware, problem aware, solution aware, and then very aware and blah, blah, blah. Solution aware is in the middle, right? So problem aware or unaware is the top of the funnel. Those are the people that need to be educated about a solution. Those people are not people who are immediately coming to a content page, a collection page. Problem or solution aware people are middle of the funnel, which means they already understand the solution to their problem, right? And now they're just looking for the specific product to provide that solution. So that's who's going to be on a collection page, which means you don't need to agitate around the problem, because they already understand the problem. They already understand the solution in a general sense to that problem. You don't need to agitate around that. What you're trying to get people to on this page is from being aware of the general solution, which is a home kiln, to being aware of the specific product for them to provide the solution that they're looking for. So there's a little different there, which means you don't need any of this sort of stuff. But what you do need are best ceramic kilns for home, and then talk about some of the different things that people should be thinking about when they're thinking about a home kiln. So you might link to some other content on your site. You might link people to say, like, this is the best home kiln under $2,000. This is the best premium home kiln. This is the best home kiln if you want to plug it into a wall socket. Like, whatever the main factors are that people use to determine, like, the right one for them, that's what you want your content on your collection pages to be around, right? You don't want it to be fluff. You don't want it to be trying to sell them the solution because they're already there, right? You want it to be about the products primarily, and helping people. The biggest question for somebody on your collection page is, what is the right product for me based on my needs, my desires, my wants? That's the only thing that you should be talking to people about on your collection page. And then you want to sprinkle some SEO into that, right? Because these pages do rank and can rank very well. And then you want your traditional view here, which is fine. Obviously, there's nothing to edit there. So that's what I'm going to say here about the collection pages. Now we're going to jump onto a product page, and we're going to have a bit of a look here in at Billy's product pages. So a couple of things in here. Once again, I think there's some good things and some things which I enjoy a bit less about this particular product page. And I just wanted to going back here to look at this on a mobile, because once again, this theme probably has a little bit of an unusual approach to how it does this product page. So let's just start at the top. We guarantee the best price you'll find online. Let us know if you find it cheaper. Right direction. So a price guarantee can definitely be part of your overall offer. And in some markets particularly, probably not so much the US, it may not be as necessary because you have minimum advertised pricing there in a lot of niches, which means that the minimum price is pretty settled. In other markets like Australia or the United Kingdom, you may see a bit more variability on price, and you may have more room to price wherever you want, which can have swings and roundabouts to it. And so Billy, being in the UK, is doing something like this. And this is actually a good way. A lot of people, obviously, as we know, do ship with price in mind, right? They may have a maximum budget they don't want to go above, and so they're going to be conscious of that. And so using price in your offer can be a good thing. If you can actually do this. Let us know if you find it cheaper. So once again, not specific enough. What do you exactly want somebody to do? In an ideal world, if they find a better price, or if they just want to call up and talk to you about, get in contact and call you up or talk to you about price, like, how is that happening? Phone number. Call us on to get the best price. Once again, associate that action with a very specific outcome. They're going to get the best price, and then make the phone number a click to call. And you might need a developer's help to do that. So most people are going to be looking at this on mobile. Anytime you have a phone number on mobile, it should be click to call. Like if somebody presses it, they can see it's linked and they press it, it's going to instantly open the dialer on their phone and call your business. You can do that. It's just a bit of a development thing. So keep that in mind and do that. I would recommend the more you can get people on the phone in the early days, the better. And then you're going to offer them plus 12.5 kilograms free clay with each purchase. Use clay one at checkout. So this is another thing I see people do is offering a free gift with purchase, which is great. Once again, this is part of your offer. You're adding additional value to the purchase. But if you're doing that, why do they have to put a coupon in? Right? Ask that question. Why? Why do they have to do it? Like, what's the point of that? If you're giving it to them, if you want to market this as a free gift, like it's part of our offer, we're giving you a free gift every time you buy one of these things. Just say that. Just say we're giving you free clay with each purchase, and tell them what it's worth as well. So how much does 12.5 kilograms of free clay cost if I was just going to buy it? So if it's like $50, say we're giving you 12.5 kilograms of clay worth $50 free with each purchase. Because what everybody wants to know, whenever you're giving them a discount, whenever you're giving them a freebie, the easier you make it for them to associate value with that, the better. So I don't want to go and look up, I'm not going to go and look up what this is worth. Maybe it's worth $2, maybe it's worth $100. If it's worth $100 and I'm thinking of spending, I should say pounds, to the UK people, and I'm going to be spending nearly £3,000. If you're giving me $100 of free stuff, I'm like, all right, no, I can automatically equate $100 with value because I know what $100 gets me in life. Once again, using a dollar amount rather than a percentage amount. And this is not specific to this topic, but if you're going to talk about discounts, always say we're giving you $100 off rather than 3% off, right? Because 3% off is tiny. And what is that? I don't even know what that number is without going and to your checkout and applying a discount code and saying the discount, Always be specific. You're giving people X amount of dollars off. If it's $100, great. If it's $50, great. If it's $1,000, great. Because anytime I see a pound or a dollar figure amount, I can immediately associate that with my bank account and how much my bank account is going to be better or worse off. I can immediately associate that with, if I save £100 here, it means I can go and spend £100 on that thing over there because I know that's worth £100. I can go and do some shopping. I can go and buy some fuel. I can do this. I can do that with £100. I don't know if I get a 3% discount. What can I go and buy with 3%? Nothing. That doesn't mean anything. It's meaningless to me, right? And not to mention, if we're talking about discounts, and I'm getting a little off topic here, if I see 2,897 thing, what people often do with high-ticket dropshipping is they say, sign up to our email address and our email list and you'll get 5% off. I challenge anybody right now, what's 5% of 2,879 in dollar terms? I don't know. I'm shit at maths. I don't know that from the top of my head. I'm guaranteeing 99% of people can't immediately do that calculation in their mind correctly. So it doesn't have any immediate meaning. Like, honestly, it doesn't. You need to tell people the dollar figure. So anyway, continuing along, there's some tweaks I'd make there, but these things are good, but just build it up, make it sexier, make it sound great. Don't be like, you've got to enter a code if you remember it at checkout, just so maybe we can get out of giving you the free gift, right? Like, just give it to them if you're going to give it to them. And that will that will work for you. Continuing along here, I mean, this stuff's all good. We've got nice images of the products. That's cool. We've got some little additional things. I'm not really sure what this one is because it's got £0. Is there any reason that somebody wouldn't want that if you're giving it to somebody for £0? Once again, just give it to them. Say you're giving it to them. Little upsell here, which I assume is one that people need. And then we get down into the actual product description and that sort of thing. So this trust thing, we've got this little, and this header is so annoying. Even on this screen, it keeps popping up. It's too big. Trust. We only work with brands that cover their products with a full warranty. Fantastic. That's great. These manufacturers have extremely high confidence in the quality of their products. So what? Who cares? Of course they do. What manufacturer has no confidence in the quality of their products? This sort of statement, whether it's from you, never say you sell high quality products, right? Because nobody believes that, right? Where's the proof, right? In today's age of marketing, we are past the age where you can make claims that have no proof associated with them for people to believe it. If you make a claim, and this is a claim, right? It's a quality claim. You have to have direct proof to back that up. Now, a warranty is not proof. It's just a warranty, right? So if you don't have proof for a claim, then you can't. You just shouldn't make it, or you just shouldn't mention it. Like, and particularly with quality, like everybody expects you as the retailer or the manufacturer to say our products are high quality. Like, what's the inverse of that? Are there any retailers around there saying our products are low quality? Do you want to buy one? Or a manufacturer saying we don't have any confidence in our products. They're terrible. The quality is terrible, but we make them anyway. It doesn't happen. So of course anybody's going to say that. So anytime it's like, yeah, as if, of course they're going to say that. Are they really better quality? What's the test of quality? Like, just don't say it. Focus on the warranty, which is fine. The warranty is good. Focus on that, and just stick with that. Add to cart, buy with Shop Pay. That's the dynamic thing. That's fine. The description. Look, I don't mind this description. I like the little checkpoints highlighting off the off the free. We're highlighting this one thing. This is very simple to use. That's probably a good thing. Get up and running really quickly. Good thing to agitate around. I think having the little dot points, I think, is nice here. Free clay included. Once again, that's great. Bit of offer thing here. That's fantastic. I don't mind that. Once again, I would drop out that because this implies that if they don't put that in, they're not getting the free clay, even though the free clay is included. So just give it to them, or don't give it to them, as it might be. And then getting into more of the full-on description down the towards the bottom. This is great. You've got somebody who's presumably, this guy's a name that people would know who are into this sort of thing. He's given some thoughts here, primarily. Might be from the manufacturer you're getting that from. That's cool. Bit of a picture of him there. That's a nice. I actually quite like this. And then, moving onwards, this is okay. I think I don't like this tab section because look what happens if I click this tab. Which one was it? Oh, it's not doing it now. It's causing it causes this. So see how it caused the screen to shift there? It pushed me way down. These days you don't, I think, and it's something we're going to update in our course shortly. We did use tabs for years. I think you can use them less now. I mean, you don't need a tab for all of these different things. It's okay just to have a page that scrolls down because who cares how long the page is, right? There's nothing down here. You're not holding people back from getting down to this part of your site. And Billy must be watching along because I know the red has now changed to black, which is very nice, Billy. Good on you for being proactive. So I do like the little description here. Some of the dot points here just from a copywriting thing. Whenever you talk about a feature like this or this, which are good, like having like a few just hit points at the start of your description of this is the main great things about this product. That's good. And then go into the sort of more detail further down. I think that's a good thing. It grabs people's attention, makes it easy to scan, which these days with shorter attention spans is very important with your product copy. But you should put the benefit on this, right? So what's this? Why is this good? Why is getting free Icon V46 furniture with purchase good? What's the outcome? So remember, anytime somebody buys a product, they're not buying the product. They're buying the outcome that the product provides, right? It's good to think about this because this then guides what you say and how you communicate about the product. what is the end result of having this icon V46? So I don't want to go and have to look at this product page to understand what this is before I buy this product, right? Once again, that's adding jumps around your site, which is going to reduce your conversion rate. So why is getting this good? What's great about having the controller? What is the controller? Like just KRTC controller included so that you can do what? Right? What's the outcome? So that you can operate the thing quicker, so that you can plugs into any normal UK main socket, so that you don't have to waste time and money getting an electrician to install the product for you. That's the outcome. They save time, they save money, right? That's it. That's actually the benefit of this. This in and of itself doesn't matter. What matters is the outcome. So always highlight the outcome. In outcomes. What is the thing that the customer is actually getting as a result of purchasing this product? And so that's where you want to go. Otherwise, I mean, this is looking good. And here's the offer stuff. Why choose us? Best price, free shipping, excellent customer support, proven track record, trusted brand. So it's great to have this on your product page. I would probably, I mean, having it down there is fine. I would probably look at, and I would probably on desktop really make this a wider view rather than such a narrow column, which is probably a theme thing. Find out ways if you can get a brief summary of your offer further up the page. Most people are not going down to the bottom of the page. Most people are going to be sticking around the top here. So you want to try and hit them with some of that stuff. And you got it up here, a little bit here, which is great. But usually what some people do is put in some like icons or something that implies some of these things, just the simple things, even like free shipping. That's easy. Best price. That's easy to do. Great customer support. Once again, I would have my phone number up around the add to cart button up the top here. Once again, to get people calling is best. Otherwise, proven track record. This is a bit wishy-washy. Once again, it's a claim. So we have successfully been supplying happy customers with equipment for their ceramics with minimal complaints. So there's actually a couple of claims there. So where's the proof that your customers are happy? You say they're happy. So this is what's going on in the customer's mind. Where's the proof? Where's the proof? Where's the proof? Now, for a new business, you may not yet have the proof because you don't have reviews and all that sort of thing. So don't make the claim, right? You can't make the claim. So I would leave it out. Minimal complaints is wishy-washy. Like, that's not exciting. Like, minimal complaints, that means you have complaints. You just don't have a lot of them. Well, yes, then that's what happens in every business. I get that, but you don't say that. It just doesn't. And once again, there's no proof of this on the site. So leave it out. You don't have to say that. Trusted brands. I would say something like, we're authorized resellers of the best pottery brands in the UK. And I would leave it at that. Once again, we carefully curate a product line, blah, 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 blah. This is once again just a bit fluffy from me. Keep it short and sweet. You're being an authorized reseller of brands that people know and trust is good. That does infer good things. And then the last $100 voucher with every purchase. We provide a voucher where spend on your next order that includes a potter's wheel or kiln. I mean, I'd probably think about that. How many kilns is one person likely to buy? Like, would it be better just to say if you're buying a kiln, you get it for a potter's wheel because that's a related product that they could even buy immediately after? Like, nobody's buying a kiln and then buying another kiln tomorrow or the next week kind of thing. I wouldn't imagine. And for this one, I would, once again, avoid the T&Cs. If you're going to give somebody £100 voucher, just give it to them. Most people will never use it, to be honest. Like, you don't need, like, this now feels tricky, right? Like, I don't know if this is a UK legal thing. I don't think it is. Like, where else are they going to use it? Like, they can't use it anywhere else. It's a voucher for your Shopify store, so it won't work on any other site. Like, why do you have to say that? Once again, if this is a UK law thing that I'm not aware of, then please, by all means. I don't think there's laws surrounding giving somebody a discount, though, but I could be wrong. The one that looked really bad to me in here is this one. In the event that a customer returns a product which they receive the $100 voucher, the voucher will be voided and the $100 will be deducted from any refund or credit issued. I don't understand that. Like, that implies that if I return the product that I bought first, you're going to take an extra £100 off me for a voucher that I didn't actually redeem yet. I don't think you can do that. But anyway, I wouldn't bother with that sort of stuff. Once again, you're giving, if you're fretting over giving some, potentially missing out on £100 voucher or something, then you got much bigger worries than that going on in your business. All right, that was a long one, hey? But thank you for making it thus far, making it to the end of the episode. It's a bit longer than what we normally do here at the Dropship Podcast, but I think that was a really cool experience to go through. So I hope you got something out of that. We've got more website teardowns and things like this coming up on the show in the coming months, so make sure you keep checking in to see what we've got coming out. Now, if you've watched through that and you're like, man, I really want to get one of these businesses started, I want to start it on the right foot, or if you've already started one of these businesses like Billy and you need some guidance, it's not quite working for you, you're having trouble pulling everything together, maybe you're having trouble making your first sales or even making predictable, consistent sales, then I've got two options for you. The first one is to join the Dropship Breakthru program, get mine and Ben's help, our coaches' help, our wide community of experienced high-ticket dropshippers' help to get your business started or on the right track. Head to dropshipbreakthru.com/join to get all the details and to get straight in, get instant access to everything in the program and get yourself sorted out. Or number two, the second thing that you can do is if you've got questions about joining the program, if you're not quite sure if it's right for you and you'd like to learn more, then you can talk with us. You can talk with a member of our team, Holly, who is a successful high-ticket dropshipper herself. All you need to do to book a free call with her is head to dropshipbreakthru.com/call. So you're going to see the links to both of those either in the show notes of this episode, or if you're watching on YouTube, down below the video in the description area. So get onto those things and we'll talk real soon.
Thanks for listening to the Dropship Podcast. You can find all the show notes for this episode at dropshippodcast.com. And if you're ready to take the next step in your dropshipping journey, we invite you to join us inside Dropship Breakthru, where John and I will walk you through step by step in starting your own high-ticket dropshipping e-commerce business. But that's not all. Dropship Breakthru will also teach you everything you'll need to know to grow your business and take it to the next level. So head over to dropshipbreakthru.com and sign up for our free training that will help you take the first steps towards building and growing your own profitable high-ticket dropshipping business.